guys, I tell women is a lot of times, like, if he wants to be with you, he will make time. We were in two different states, so we made sure that we made time. And then when we got off work and we were home and she was a single parent, I was trying to get custody of my daughter. We still had time for each other. We still was on Skype for about an hour after we got off work.
Yeah, we made a lot of time for each other. And I think also I almost had a security blanket, because I know a lot of women ask, how is it having a long distance relationship? It is difficult. But I think one thing that really helped us is that we did talk all the time, so there was never a question. And then I knew your every move, you knew mine.
Right.
You gave me that security blanket, knowing that, not that I'm like following you or watching everything little thing you do, but I was comfortable in knowing that, you were committed to me at the time, and that I never questioned him being faithful or anything like that. And because we talked all the time. And not saying, ladies, that somebody can't be doing stuff behind your back, even though you talk to them all the time. People have their ways, okay? But I had enough security in knowing that he was where he said he was going to be, and we talked all the time, so I never questioned his faithfulness to me, even though he was states away, because the whole first year of our marriage, he was in not marriage, but in our relationship, he was in a whole nother state. So and maybe
that's about a year, huh?
Yeah, about a year. 5 months after we got married, he was still in another state, because he didn't move to Texas until February. So it was a hard time, because you miss your partner, you want to be next to them. But I think because he gave me my security blanket, letting me know where he is and that he was okay, and vice versa, like we knew each other's moves. And I wanted to talk to him all the time. Like I was excited to talk to him. I got the little butterflies every time we got to talk, you know what I'm saying? So I think that helped our relationship a lot, being long distance.
You give me butterflies. But it was one of those things where I felt that I always wanted to talk to her. And that's the thing. That's the mental stimulation piece. Always wanting to talk to this person, because I'm pretty sure you can talk to somebody and they can be just dull, and after you get the initial, what is your favorite color? What was your past relationship like? Once you get past that, it's like, what do y'all have to talk about?
I think us reading books help too, because they give us a whole nother piece of things to talk about. Well, of course you have the things on Instagram. So you're saying, oh, let's read this article and stuff like that. We did that a lot, or on Facebook. But I think
sending memes to each other.
Yeah, all day. We were always sending memes to each other. We'd be cracking up. But I think us reading books together really helped, because and I learned this from a guy at work. He was telling me him and his significant other were reading a book together. And he said, get books where they're talking about real topics, so that way you can find out what your partner's stance is on different topics. And if some people, you hear something that they agree with, because like say you agree with gun laws and your partner doesn't, that might be a real point of contention, because your partner might want a gun in their home later on in life, and you were like, I have children here, I don't want guns in my house. So I think reading different books with different topics, because you're not going to think of everything, of course. When you read a book, it gives you an opportunity to talk about those different topics and really get your partner's real and raw feelings about it, so that make sure that you guys mesh well together. So I think reading books is a really good thing to do with a person. And then also, as Sean would say, it shows how committed you are to something. If y'all can finish a whole book together, if he can read a whole book with you, he's probably going to be committed to you, because he can actually commit to something. Because reading a big book with a person and talking about it every day and going over it, or even having Bible study with somebody, even just once a week, that's a commitment. And it's like, if you all can commit to do those things, it's important, and that will show if this person is actually a committed person, if they're right for you. Personal experience, that's not for everybody. But
right. And that's because I did a video about, is he going to be a deadbeat dad? Like, how will I know if he's a deadbeat dad? And in the video I talked about that. I'm like, what was the last thing he completed? And I talked about in the book, I was like, he was talking about he was reading The Secret, the book The Secret. I've been reading The Secret and he ain't finished it. He's been reading this book for 10 years and ain't finished reading it yet. That's a sign right there. Let you know that, the secret is he ain't gonna be a good daddy. That's the secret. because he ain't finished reading the book. He ain't committed to anything. But you could check that video out. That's another topic.